Hi, how you guys? Welcome to Audrey's reading area. Yes, today's Educational Tuesday. So you know I have a fun and exciting book for you that's also educational. It's going to teach you a few things. This book is Grossology and You. Grossology and You. It says really gross things about your body. Written by Sylvia Branzi, illustrated by Jack Keeley. Yes, Grossology and You. Now this book is very long, so I divided it up into two different parts. I will read one half of this book today and the other half next Tuesday on this Educational Tuesday. Unless maybe I'll just do it pre-recorded and upload that as my second video to YouTube today. Grossology and You. Thank you. All right. Now you know you got to go to YouTube and smash that subscribe button. Smash that subscribe button. You know I was going to say that. And don't forget to share this video and like this video so everybody else can enjoy it too. Thank you. Now, this book, Grossology and You. The science of really gross things about your body. Curious about boogers? Interested in brains? Want to know more about bumps and bruises? Then this is the book for you. I know it's too long for me to read today, so I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to read the first half today and the second half at another time. Maybe I'll just come back on later on and read it. We'll see. Okay. Grossology and You. It has gross things, a gross introduction. There's sticky, goopy, gross things like blood, pus, sneeze, and athlete's foot. Then it has squishy, mucky, gross things like brains, bruises, eyeballs, guts, and constipation. Then it has bumpy, lumpy, gross things like goosebumps, hiccups, knuckle cracking, moles, rashes, tongues, varicose veins, and warts. Interesting. So I think I'm going to, I divided this book up in half. Hopefully that is half. But let me start reading this to you. A gross introduction. Gross is in the eye of the beholder. It says, when you see people, they don't disgust you. Except for maybe the bratty kid next door who has a constant snotty nose. So most of the time, people don't revolt you. That is because you were used to seeing skin-covered, lightly furred, two-eyed beings. If you saw a person walking around down the street with no skin, just a bunch of blood-covered muscles, you would think it was yucky. However, if everyone walked down the street as a bag of muscles, you would probably think a skin person was really icky. The same thing goes for a vein woman or a skeleton kid or an entrail man. Let me see. Entrail man. Or humans are accustomed to looking at the outside of our bodies. When you get to the insides, it gets oozy, goopy, sticky, and stinky. It's not pleasant. Yeah, it's not pleasant. That's gross. No, this is gross. What's gross? One person's grossness can be another person's dinner. Fried grasshoppers are a delicious treat eaten in Australia, Africa, Japan, and other parts of Asia. They are popped and crunched, much like North Americans eat peanuts. So if you lived in fried grasshopper eating areas, it wouldn't be weird. A fried grasshopper eaters might think that a tube stuffed with pig lips and snouts, otherwise known as a hot dog, but I'll get all beef, is a revolting meal. Like fashion, what's gross changes with the time. In the Middle Ages, people thought that taking a bath was bad for you. Wow. It was not in fashion. Not needing to bathe was considered a sign of wealth and leisure. Some rich people bragged about never having taken a bath. Smelly. Now it is quite the opposite. Nowadays, people not only bathe, they deodorize and perfume themselves. Being stinky is not in fashion. No. So you may read some things in this book and find them completely repulsive or disgusting or gross. But when you tell your cousin about it, he or she may say, "What's so gross about that?" Then again, some things you don't find so bad, your cousin won't even be able to look at on that page. That is the joy of Grossology. Everyone has a personal gross button, and you never know whose you will hit. Wow. Can you see the skeleton? Yeah, everyone has that. Blood. We're going to talk about blood first. Blood. See the pictures here? It says, think of a bowl of warm blood. Yuck. What does it look like? You probably see red. What does it smell like? Blood has its own particular smell. Put a spoon into the bowl and take up a scoop. What does it feel like? Is it sticky or runny? Kind of like tomato soup? Or is it clotty and lumpy, kind of like tapioca pudding? What does it taste like? Yuck. Blood has never passed these lips. Disgusting. But have you ever eaten blood? No? Are you sure? Blood pudding, anyone? Blood pudding is enjoyed by some people in Europe. It is sweetened and baked blood from a pig or a cow. Sound terrible? Hey, don't knock it until you've tried it. Okay, how about blood bread? Blood bread. Bread soaked in blood and then fried is quite tasty. Unless, of course, the cook accidentally over-fries the bread, then it is kind of like eating scabs. Ew. I can't. This is a little gross, gross, gross. They weren't lying. Grossology and you. Grossology and you. How about mashed potatoes with gravy? Yum. If you have eaten mashed potatoes and gravy, you have tasted blood. No, not the potatoes, the gravy. A recipe for gravy will say, take the meat juice, add flour, heat and stir until thick. Well, meat juice is actually animal blood and melted fat. So gravy is cooked blood. If you order steaks rare, you have also tasted blood. Gross. Yeesh, it says yummy. When you thought of a bowl of blood, you probably pictured a red liquid. Less than half of your blood is actually made of red blood cells, or erythrocytes. Erythrocytes. The rest is white blood cells, platelets, and plasma. The liquid that blood cells float around in. Plasma. That the plasma is the healing, gives you the healing. Oh boy. Erythrocytes are so tiny that 7,000 of them could fit on the edge of a penny. On the edge of a penny. 1 teaspoon of blood has 25 billion red blood cells. That's more red blood cells than there are people living on the planet. In your whole body, you have 13 soda cans of blood. That's more red blood cells than all the people who have ever lived on this planet. Wow. It says if you weigh 100 pounds, you are carrying around 8 pounds of blood. Wow. Gross, gross, and gross. Grossology. This part says the red in blood cells is from a pigment called hemoglobin. Hemo comes from the Greek word for blood. The hemoglobin pigment has iron molecules, the same iron metal used to make cannonballs and frying pans. Wow. There's only a teeny tiny amount of iron in blood, though, so that you don't become weighted down from carrying it. When iron meets oxygen, a gas, it makes red rust. Interesting. The same is true for blood. It is the oxygen combining with the iron in blood that makes it red. The hemoglobin cruises around your body and exchanges much needed oxygen for useless carbon dioxide. Talk about a recycling system. After the red blood cells make their oxygen delivery, they change color and become more purple. Purple. The blood in your veins look blue or purple because they carry, yes, erythrocytes without oxygen, which is rust-free blood. After about 100,000 trips around your body, red blood cells get old. Red blood cells only live for about 2 months because they get bumped and bruised while traveling through the blood vessels. So the blood cells retires. Then your body gets rid of it or uses it to make new red blood cells. Since erythrocytes are so important, the new ones are constantly made. Many bones inside your body contain blood factories, like the bones of your arms, legs, ribs, hips, and back. The blood factories never stop. An adult body makes about 2 million new red blood cells every second. And you thought bones just held your muscles, huh? Look at that. That's the little blood cells. Quick, what color are white blood cells? Duh, white. That's what it says. Exactly. If red blood cells are the delivery and recycling system of the body, the white blood cells, or leukocytes, are the soldiers. Your body has a built-in military, and it's a good thing because your body is always under attack. Bacteria, mold, viruses, pollutants, dirt, and splinters are just some of the enemies that white blood cells destroy. Since not all attacks are the same, not all leukocytes are the same either. One type of white blood cells are called feeding cells. Feeding cells do exactly that. They eat the invaders. They are like mobile blobs squeezing through the walls of the blood vessels and attacking. Feeding cells can only eat so much before they become poisoned and they die. Basically, they eat themselves to death. Wow. It says people used to think that bad blood was the cause of most disease. The cure was to cut the patient and drain out the bad blood. Ooh. Okay. Blood factory. It says macrophages are large compared to the feeding cells and have giant appetites. Macrophages eat the slain piles of bacteria, dead feeding cells, and debris in the body's battlefield. The body militia also has another line of defense. These fighters are like the special forces. They search and destroy. They are called killer cells. On top of all this is an intelligence unit that remembers every attack and makes special protein to fight the enemy. That is why you don't get the mumps or chicken pox twice. Every time you get the flu, it is a new virus. If you get exposed to an old flu, the intelligent unit will wipe it out before you get sick. When you get a small cut or wound, your body looks out for you. It will take about 4 to 8 minutes for your body to halt the bleeding. Then a dried blood cover will form over the cut. This job falls to the fix-it crew or platelets that barricade the ouchie area. Platelets flow along the blood, but in the face of danger, they change. They become sticky and clump together, forming a plug that stops blood from leaking. Ever touch a cut after a few minutes? The blood becomes jelly-like, thick and goopy. The gooey blood is a clot. The clot puts out threads that crisscross to form a net. When the surface of the clot dries, it forms a scab. Yes, it does. And here you go. Here you go. In the bottom, it says, in England, the word bloody is considered a bad word. Bloody. Ooh, sorry. Not trying to say any bad words. but it's considered a bad word in England. Wow. Fake blood. What you need. Oh, this is to make fake blood. If you want to make fake blood, what you need: cornstarch, red food coloring, powdered cocoa, corn syrup used for cooking, not for pancakes, water, a bowl, a spoon, and a measuring cup. What you do? Place a 1/4 cup of syrup and 2 teaspoonfuls of water into the bowl. Stir it very well. Add 4 drops of red food coloring and stir. Add 2 teaspoonfuls of cornstarch and a 1/2 spoonful of powdered cocoa to the mixture. Stir very, very well. That's right, stir it very, very well. Put on clothes that you don't care about at all. The blood will stain your clothes, just to let you know. The blood will stain your clothes, so put on clothes that you don't care about. Drip the blood from the side of your mouth, or better yet, put some in your mouth. It's not harmful, but it doesn't taste too great either. Go find an unsuspecting person like your little brother or sister, that's what this thing says, and say, I want to suck your blood. That's crazy, like a vampire. Blood cells float around into a river of plasma. This yellow liquid is mostly water, but it also contains fats, sugars, salts, gases, albumin, which is found in egg whites, and urea, which also makes up pee or urine. So in 1 teaspoon of blood, there are 25 billion red blood cells, 35 million white blood cells, and 1 billion platelets. Wow. All of this floats in the plasma soup. Wow. Pus. We're going to read about pus. The scientific word for pus is pus. Pus. There is just no other word for it. Pus is foul. Pus is stinky. Pus is putrid. Pus is infection. Pus is pus. Saying the word pus sounds like you have a mouthful of it. How yummy. Pus, 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 and blood. Pus and blood go together. Without blood, there would be no pus. If you read the section on blood, you know how important blood is. You can't do without blood. You cannot live without blood. Pus just comes along as a side effect when bacteria invades. The bacteria are in search of a nice warm place to live and multiply. Your body is a perfect place to raise the family. Food is easy. The weather is perfect. The only problem is that the body doesn't like bacteria taking up residence, so it sends in the troops or the white blood cells. Certain white blood cells called phagocytes just love the taste of bacteria, dirt, and dead liquefied body tissues. Wow. Pus. Phag actually means to engulf, and that is just what these cells do. Wow. They eat and eat and eat, and then they die. More phagocytes arrive and they feast on bacteria, dirt, tissue, and their dead friends. The dead stuff builds up to make yellowish, greenish, whitish pus. All of the teeny tiny dead stuff also makes pus stink. Eventually, white blood cells win the battle. The body cleans up the pus, and everything is back to normal once again. Hooray! But occasionally the body may need some assistance to win. Antibiotics kill off bacteria to help infections heal more quickly. Just a little bit of pus isn't so bad. A small amount of pus in an area is called a pustule. How cute. Sometimes zits will get infected. The white head of the pimple turns a bit yellow. Yep. Zit material mixed with bacteria equals pus. Or to be more accurate, a pustule. Wow, gross. Gross, gross. Grossology. An abscess. We're going to talk about abscess. Whoa. Abscess, another lovely word. This is the last section I'll read. I'm going to be dividing this book and probably up into 4 parts instead of 2. It's really long. An abscess, another lovely word. Abscess sounds like it should go along with pus, and it does. A whole collection of pus in an area is called an abscess. Basically, it's a pool of pus. Sometimes the pus from an abscess works its way to the surface of the skin. Sometimes it dumps into other parts of the body. Pus pools can show up almost anywhere. You can get an abscess in your ear or on your butt, on your brain, in your brain, or on your bowel. But it occurs most often on the root of a tooth. That's what you say, you got an abscess tooth. An abscess tooth may have to be removed, or for just as much fun, the tooth's nerves, be pulled out. Dentists call this a root canal. Mention the words root canal around adults and you will notice shivers and frowns. A root canal is not fun, but then having a pus-filled pocket is no fun either. Wow. Wow. For more pus-filled excitement, there are boils. Ew. Boils are pus-filled bubbles that form when a bunch of pus gets trapped under the skin. Maybe you got the name boil because it looks like a bubble. But don't burst your bubble, or rather boil. The living bacteria inside the boil can spread the infection to other people, or even into your bloodstream. Sometimes boils will burst all on their own, and that is good. The yucky pus that comes out should be cleaned up. If the boil just gets big and red and hot, it's time to see a doctor. The doctor gets to have the fun job of lancing the boil, which means cutting it open, or busting the pus-filled bubble and draining the pus out of it, squeezing the pus out of it. Over here it says, maggots love rotting meat. Before there were antibiotics, maggots were sometimes used to clean up pus-filled wounds. Munch, 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 all clean. Wow. Wow. I think I have time for one more section. Just read about sneeze. Achoo! Sneeze. God bless you. It says, back in the Middle Ages, people thought that when you sneezed, your soul came flying out and wandered around for a bit. If the devil was in the area, your soul could be snatched. However, if someone said, God bless you, your soul would safely return to your body. So that's where that came from. I didn't know that. Never knew that. The superstition may sound fantastic, but what really happens when you sneeze is almost as scary. Uh-oh. A sneeze projects millions of tiny snot droplets from the mouth and the nose at speeds greater than a racing horse. The snot drops float through the air, land on everything, and are inhaled by anyone nearby. This really isn't so bad since snot is mostly water, salt, and protein. Okay, a snot shower is not a very pleasant experience. We know that. But it is worse if the sneezer has a cold or the flu, and now the COVID. A sick sneezer coats you with nose mucus and viruses that can make you sick. Actually, doctors think that people probably get colds more from their own hands than from breathing the sneezed air. The sneeze gooby lands on your hands. Then you stick a piece of gum into your mouth. It's the sneezy, germy gum that makes you sick. Look, snot rocket. It says snot rocket. The great snot rocket is actually due to tiny, teeny little hairs called cilia. The hairs act as a mucus escalator that moves dirt snot to the back of your throat. There are more cilia in 1 inch of your sinus than people at a World Series game. Cilia are very sensitive. If they get disturbed, they alert the nerves, and the nerves alert the sneeze center in the brain. The brain tells you to stop breathing, normally to suck in air. To close off your mouth with the tongue, to blast air and snot through the nose, and to quickly relax the tongue so the nose spew is followed by a mouth snot shower. The force of the air blasts out whatever was bugging the cilia. Again, sneeze, bros. Cover your nose and your mouth when you sneeze. That's why you're supposed to cover your nose and your mouth. Okay, it says anything that aggravates the nose can cause sneezing, such as pepper. Yes, that's my number one sneezing thing. Dust, pollen, cold drafts, pet dander, smoke, and light. Light? Yep. About 2% of people have sneezing fits when they see bright light. I never knew that. When they see bright light, it makes them sneeze. In some people, sneezing fits can be triggered by eyebrow plucking, hair combing, and even eating too much. I didn't know that. Wow, that was a great meal. Achoo! Some people say that you can stop a sneeze. No. Do not hold your nose shut. That's bad, very bad. Instead, use a finger to press hard on the midline between your upper lip and your nose. Use your finger to hold that right there. Okay. That's what it says. Although many sneezes don't carry germs, covering your mouth is still a kind thing to do when you sneeze. If you have a cold, you might consider a safety sneeze, which is sneezing into your arm at your elbow like this. Achoo, achoo, like that. That's a safety sneeze, which is sneezing into your arm at your elbow rather than into your hands. That way you don't spread that infection snot by shaking hands with your principal or friend, although giving grandma a big hug after a safety sneeze is not a good idea. Or better yet, just carry tissue. You can sneeze into the tissue. But if not, in your arm here, that's a safety sneeze. Let me read you these little things on the side. It says, super sneeze superstitions. It says 1 sneeze, make a wish. 2 sneezes, you will be kissed. 3 sneezes, you will be disappointed. 4 sneezes, expect a letter. 5 sneezes, you will get something new. 6 sneezes, you will take a trip. Sneezes before breakfast, you will receive company before bedtime. Wow. Sneeze 3 times before breakfast, bad luck. You cannot keep your eyes open when you sneeze. Wow. They say that's a superstition, but I've tried and I can't do it. Maybe somebody else can keep their eyes open when they sneeze. Achoo! Nope, can't do it. Snot for sneeze. What you need. Oh, they've given you instructions on how to make snot. Pretend that you sneezed it out. What you need. 1/8 cup of borax laundry booster. No other detergent will do, y'all. It says 1/2 liter of warm tap water. A small container of Elmer's glue. No other kind will do. Water, green food coloring, a clean, empty 1 liter soda bottle, a cup and a spoon. That's slime. I guess that's making slime. What you do, prepare the borax solution. Place 1/8 cup of the borax laundry booster into 1/2 cup, a liter of warm water. Shake until shake it, until most of the borax dissolves. Not all of them will dissolve. Not all of it will dissolve. Let the solution cool. Pour 1/2 cup of the Elmer's glue into a bowl. Add 1/2 cup of water and stir. Add 2 drops of the green food coloring and stir well. Measure 8 spoonfuls of the borax solution. Stir until the mixture looks clumpy. You can add another spoonful of the borax solution if the snot is too runny. Remove your snot. Fake a sneeze. Choo! And then you can just kind of, with all the oozy, slimy stuff. Then show your friend how much snot came out of your nose with your, snot for sneezes. There it is. Okay, I'm going to end this book reading here, and I will continue another time with the rest of that book, Grossology and You. I might just pre-record them, and you can go to YouTube, Audrey's Reading Area, and you can see the rest of the book. I think that's what I'll do. Thank you so much for joining me here at Audrey's Reading Area. I enjoyed reading this Grossology and You book to you. Educational Tuesday is today. So you got your Grossology, yes, Grossology and You book. So, once again, I will read the rest on YouTube. You'll see it later on today on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me here at Audrey's Reading Area. And don't forget, go on over to Audrey's Reading Area on YouTube and smash that subscribe button. Smash it real good. All right. I'll see you soon. What's up, Sadie? Shout out to my girl, Sadie. Thank you so much for your love and support. Thank you for joining me here. And I will see you guys soon.